Welcome back to Newsstand. I can't get down from here. It's scary. Well, it looks like Paramount is buying Warner Bros Discovery, so that means HBO and CNN as well, after Netflix has backed out of the bidding. I'm not a business guy, but why are we selling Warner Brothers anyway? Like, if I owned the Looney Tunes and John Oliver, we'd make as many Space Jam sequels as we could before we grind his little British bones into the dust. You'd have to pry that sweet, sweet IP out of my cold, dead, Bugs Bunny gloved hands. On top of HBO, Discovery, and CNN, here's a comprehensive list of everything Paramount now owns. Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, Miramax, BET, the rights to untitled Tilly Norwood biopic, Billy Bob Thornton, the United Postal Service, rights to The Blank Called, They Want Their Blank Back joke structure, 50% ownership with David Spade. Perhaps most concerning, Paramount also owns Pluto TV. Well, at least Tubi isn't owned by a right-wing slop factory. No, Desk Monsters, come on. Not Tubi, too! Who owns Fubo? Disney? Well, not exactly a left-wing media machine, but I guess we'll root for Fubo? I mean, Disney made Andor. Somehow, I don't know. Let me know if there are any other made-up sounding streaming services like Pluto, Tubi, and Fubo that we can root for. Did I get all those right? Did I make one of those up? Last week, the Supreme Court ruled the president's tariffs are unconstitutional, and instead of abandoning the tariffs, the president is raising the global tariffs from 10% to 15%. And I think if he gets to ignore what the court says, then I get to ignore when the food court at the mall says that Auntie Anne is not my real aunt. She's my cousin's mom, you dicks! What else am I supposed to call her? Pretzel lady? The president also lashed out at the Supreme Court's decision, calling the justices fools and lapdogs. This led to confusion in Kristi Noem, who said, "Lapdogs, where?" Followed by 6 gunshots. And if we now have 6 seats to fill on the court, the top candidates on my list are Auntie Anne and Uncle Sparrow. It's all about who you know. The president declared February 23rd to be National Angel Family Day. It's a day to honor people who have been allegedly killed by undocumented immigrants. Immigrants commit crime at a lower rate than US-born citizens. This national holiday thing is out of control. Every date on our calendar already has a bunch of national holidays. Like February 23rd is already National Banana Bread Day and National Tile Day. Everybody knows Americans can't pass up an opportunity to celebrate the baked remains of the blackest bananas you've ever seen, and a good hard slippery floor. In a poll from NPR, 6 out of 10 Americans say the country is worse off than it was a year ago, and the state of the union is not strong. The other 4 say that dentists recommend the wrong toothpaste. Well, I like that one. During his speech, the president brought in guests, but made them enter from outside the room. How long did he make them stand outside the room? Were snacks provided? Were they like, "Oh, so cool to be in the Capitol building. What do you think he's saying in there?" One of the more concerning lines from the speech was when the president said that voting is the greatest privilege. He clarified this later, saying, "When I said privilege, I meant it's like a thing that's just for white people." Representative Al Green was removed for protesting the president's recent racist post against the Obamas. Green held up a sign saying, "Black people aren't apes." One Republican congressman was on video trying to snatch the sign away. The Republican later explained his actions, saying, "I hate signs that contradict my beliefs." Burger King will start using AI-infused headsets on their employees to keep track if they're saying welcome and thank you to customers. The last thing I want from my Burger King experience is to be reminded of my humanity. Just give me my foot burger and subpar fries and send me shamefully into the silent night like God intended. I believe that's actually from the Bible. Numbers 2:5. One of Mr. Beast's editors has been suspended from Kalshi and reported to federal regulators for insider trading. His punishment will be broadcast in his upcoming video, Congressional Deposition Challenge, Surviving 96 Hours? Can you tell I don't know what Mr. Beast sounds like? Caleb Herron's more influential anyway. In drug news, a study found that teens who smoked weed were more likely to develop mental illnesses including psychosis, while teens abstaining from marijuana were more likely to kinda not be thought about after high school. Remember Joshua Rudnicki? No, you don't. It's the first time you're thinking of him in like 10 years. But he went to high school with you. And no, he didn't smoke grass. But what's he doing now? He's working at a strip mall old country buffet. But so is your boy Andy, and he's smoking all day long. So, it's anyone's game. The New York Mets announced that later in May, they'll be having a Bobby Valentine disguise night and hand out 15,000 fake mustache and glasses to the crowd. Absolute banger of a night for guys who just look like that all the time. I'm not familiar with Mr. Valentine's game, but I love that the Mets are going full minor league type theme nights now. Hey Mets, while you're at it, why don't you disguise yourself as a better baseball team? Ha! I don't follow the sport, but I assume they suck. But hey, this Bobby Valentine thing better not catch on because I call this Groucho Marxism. Instead of sporting a Guy Fawkes mask, I think we gotta go silly for the revolution and just go full Groucho Marx. Groucho Marxism! In Black History Month news, on February 28, 1984, Michael Jackson set the record for most Grammy wins in a night with 8 for Thriller. On the 27th in 1988, Debbie Thomas became the first black person to win a medal at the Winter Olympics when she won bronze. And around this time in 1932, Richard Spikes invented and patented the automatic gear shift. Richard Spikes is why we don't have to drive manual. So if you still drive stick, you're anti-black. He also invented the beer keg tap and turn signals in cars. So if you're drinking out of a can and not signaling before you're about to turn, again, you're anti-black. Or you're about to get a DUI. But either way, destructive behavior for yourself and those around you. Richard Spikes. Well, today is the last day of Black History Month, but as you know, Black History is year-round, so I'll try to throw in some good facts and stuff at least once a month. And if I forget, I'll make sure the desk monsters remind me. I mean, no way I can forget with those pipes screaming at me. Speaking of pipes, here's a great headline from AP. Bagpipers play at Olympic curling in homage to sports Scottish heritage, but they're Italian. Whoa, Danny boy, the pipes is calling all right, but these pipes warp yous underground and then back up topside the Mushroom Kingdom. Oh! No, Desk Monsters, I don't think that was an offensive Italian accent. Oh, you meant offensive because Danny Boy is an Irish song, not a Scottish song. Right. Well, here I am, just another white guy with vaguely British features like my kind of close together eyes, disrespecting the Scottish and the Irish. Much like the beans where I probably come from, I'm toast. This has been another episode of Newsstand. What? What do you mean you hear a bagpipe army coming on horseback? Quick, buy up all the sunscreen in town and they won't stand a chance. Doobie-doo! Just give me my foot booger. Whoa, Danny boy! Whoa, Danny boy! Doobie-doo-be-doo! Now owned by Paramount.